What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have an amazing episode for everyone today. We have a ton of news to go over in today's video. The Dow and S&P 500 broke all-time highs today, and the tech sector, even though it didn't break all-time highs, it had a pretty strong day overall. We have a lot of great picks, a lot of great setups in today's video. Make sure to stick around to the end, and if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. At the end of today's video, we have a $10.5 million trade. So really make sure you guys stick around to the end. But with that being said, Tom, what happened in the market today?
Yeah, investing.com reports that the Dow actually struggled for direction today, but like we saw the SPY break all-time highs, which was awesome, and it almost triple topped on an intraday chart here around 395.50, which was amazing to see, and it broke above that at the end of the day, which has brought a lot of the other stocks up. But they said that a lot of these sectors slid because of the falling U.S. rates and then also because of the rising chip stocks, which is amazing, which helps the tech sector. And obviously there's a lot of those stocks in the S&P 500 as well, but the energy sector did end up falling, and we saw crude oil go down, which was kind of strange. But those rates, they are kind of in a weird spot right now. If we look at /ZN and we go to a max daily chart here, we can see it's kind of just hovering around support, and it could start to break lower, which I would think would make the market go lower, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, definitely tech stocks for sure. I mean, if we saw bonds continue to sell off and rates continue to rise, that would really impact tech stocks the most, especially in the short term.
Yeah, but I'm hoping they can go up. The QQQ is looking pretty decent. We see 3 green days in a row. It looks like it's going to break above $320 tomorrow and possibly keep rising. So we'll just have to see what happens. But the overall market's looking great. And then also there was good news that came out about pot stocks. And this is pretty much, they're pretty much hoping that the pot stocks are going to go up on New York legalization hopes per investing.com. And cannabis shares and the ETFs tracking them, they pretty much all went up today. We can see ACB is up 5.39%, CGC is up 3.98%, and this stock looks like it's actually in a pretty good position. You know, it was around the $30 support. Now it's at 35. There is maybe a resistance here at 37, but if we can break that over the next couple of days, I think it would be a pretty good thing. And the lawmakers in New York are close to an agreement on recreational marijuana legislation, and a vote could come as early as this week. But the thing is that Andrew Cuomo is kind of the guy doing this, and he's facing some calls to resign right now because several women came forward with sexual misconduct claims. So we'll have to see what goes on, but hopefully they can get that bill passed, and it'll definitely help the marijuana sector.
Yeah, I was looking at some of these stocks today. Like CGC, like you said, had a pretty solid day, up around 4%. Tilray had actually a great day, up over 10%. And MJ, which is kind of just like an ETF of a lot of these marijuana stocks, is also up around 4%, and it's definitely trending in the right direction. So that's always good to see. But Tom, I know we had a really volatile week last week and just kind of a volatile month overall, but this week can be even more volatile because we have an FOMC meeting. So fill us in there.
Yeah, Reuters reports that there's going to be an FOMC meeting this week on March 16th and 17th, which is Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Powell is going to have his legendary press conference on March 17th, of course. And whatever he says in that press conference, he really usually moves the markets after these FOMC meetings with those conferences. So just watch out. But there will also be a statement from the official FOMC on March 16th as well.
Awesome. So we all know sometimes Powell makes the market go absolutely crazy, and sometimes he has little to no effect. So either way, it's pretty important to pay attention to him when he speaks. He has a lot of influence on the market and the economy overall. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But Tom, let's get right into our momentum plays for today and the Discord member of the day. So first we're going to get into the member of the day. It is Dan300. He's a pretty active member of the community, and he definitely deserves a shout out. So huge shout out to Dan300. He also played one of our day trades this morning. So huge shout out to you, and thank you for being an active and good member of the StockedUp community. But with that being said, let's get right into the momentum plays. With the first one, we have Square to the upside. They actually had a pretty solid day today, closing near its highs.
Yeah, it actually closed at near its highs and actually moved up in after hours as well, but make it break above $252 even.
Sounds good. With the next one, we have Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's looking pretty good today. Make it break above $70.50, and it's also hovering around the 1,000 SMA. So if it does break 70.50, possibly watch for a rejection around 70.70. But if you want to play it really safe, make it break above 70.70.
Awesome. With the last one, we have JBLU.
Yeah, with JBLU, this is JetBlue, and all the airlines had a pretty good day today, but make them break above 21.75.
Sounds good. So we're eyeing all of these stocks for potential day trades tomorrow, only if they can break above the levels Tom listed. But while we're talking about airlines and JetBlue, we have to point out our trade from over the weekend, Tom, in the hybrid plays with UAL. So Tom and I called out a UAL call position, called it out for around $250 each, sold some off on Friday for $320, sold some more off at $365 today, and sold even the rest off around $480. So overall, this was a pretty solid trade. Tom and I call out swing trades and day trades in the Discord. If you want to learn more information about this, you can click the first link in the description down below. Daily day trades, swing trades, and access to our bots. So yeah, first link in the description down below. We are doing a $40 off sale. But with that being said, let's get right into the $10.5 million trade for this week. We are looking at the AMC 15 strike calls that expire this Friday, March 19th. Overall, AMC had an amazing day, up around 25%. And this option is only about $1 out of the money. So, AMC has a lot of momentum right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do see it to continue.
Yeah, and it's going up right now is pretty significantly. It broke above that resistance around $12, I thought, and it was just a very nice day. And what was interesting to me is that GME went up, or I mean AMC went up today, but GME actually ended up falling 16%. I kind of expected them to kind of go up together, but AMC could actually start recovering pretty nicely here with this momentum. Man, I would like to think that they're longing this at 15. It's only $1 away, but I don't know what to think. It's getting pretty close to resistances as well, and it's up pretty significantly. I would think though that they're longing it just given how short of a time frame it is.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get right into our questions from the previous episode. With the first question, we have Keith saying, "Hey, Mike and Tom, what do you guys think about investing in lithium stocks? Since EV batteries will be using it and a majority of electronics use it, wouldn't stocks like PLL and LAC be a sure bet?" So I really like where Keith is thinking. I really think that's like a good investment. One thing I really want to point out though is make sure to do like a deep dive fundamental analysis like on these lithium companies to make sure that they are in good standing and make sure that everything they're doing is legit and you're investing in a good company. Overall, I think that's a very smart move to make though, investing in the lithium sector, because I know the EV batteries use it a lot and they have a lot of other uses. So overall, and my first thought is that it's a great idea. Just make sure to do a deep dive of what their fundamentals look like.
Yeah, definitely do the deep dive because PLL's chart definitely looks pretty insane here on the max daily chart. I'm not sure what all of this movement is, but definitely research it.
For sure. With the next question, we have Bravo Mo saying, "Great content, guys. What do you think of Visa stock? Is it a buy now?" So always trust your own gut. But looking at their chart, it looks pretty good. They are close to all-time highs. It is more of a slow and steady stock. It doesn't have crazy price swings. The implied volatility is only around 26%, so it's kind of slow and steady. Overall, I like it for the long term, but I can see it pulling back maybe to like the 215 area. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe level to say. It's definitely a good stock. If we go back on a daily chart and we just keep going back, we can see that nice steady movement to the upside with just little swings and then maybe some maybe 6 months of flat areas every once in a while. But I will say it's at all-time highs right now, so it could keep running. Normally, whenever it breaks all-time highs, it does keep going. So hopefully it can continue here. If the overall market, I think, goes up off the stimulus news and stuff, I think that it'll help this. But at the same time, if inflation worries or something come in, then Visa might fall.
Sounds good. With the next question, we have S saying, "I am new to the stock market. When doing a technical analysis on stocks, what is the most important indicator to look at? Some say MACD, some say 20-day moving average. Can you please share your ideas?" So this is a great question, and I'm sure a lot of other people share your question. So it's all about finding what works for you. Personally, I like to keep my charts and all that pretty simple. I just like to use support and resistance and just like my own experience and some custom scripts I have. But besides that, I really like to keep things simple. Volume, support, and resistance, and like I said, a couple other custom things. But besides that, I really just like to keep things simple. I know Tom uses a couple different indicators. If you want to elaborate on that.
Yeah, definitely. I use a couple SMAs, and like he said, you just have to figure out what works for you. But I personally like the 100 SMA, the 200 SMA, and then also the 1000 SMA, and then also the 20 SMA is the one I believe Hunter likes. It's either the 20 or the 21. Hunter, definitely let me know in the comments down below which one it is. But there is some lower ones that people like. Research your own, try out a lot of different things, because there's everyone has their own niches, and everyone likes different stuff, like Mike said. So definitely try out different things.
Yeah, so just find out what works for you. Some people, love, MACD. Some people hate it. You know what I mean? So just find out what works for you. With the next question, we have Dennis saying, what's the best expiration for day trading? I've been trading weekly options. Could I get bigger moves with them, or should I add more time? Thanks, Mike and Tom. So great question. In general, weekly options will have the most volatility. And if you're day trading, most of the time, weekly options will be the way to go. Let's say it's like a Thursday or something, and if you get like an option that's pretty far out of the money, it really just depends on like the trade setup and things like that. But in general, weekly options are good for day trading, or even if you go one more week out, those are normally pretty good if you're only holding for like a day or two. With the next question, we have Vicky with an amazing question talking about the GME play from yesterday. So just to give everyone a little bit of background, in yesterday's video, we covered an unusual options trade where basically someone was trading the 800 strike calls for GME that expired this week. And, they may have put like $20 million or something like that into the trade. So Vicky said, as far as the GME play, how much would the investor make if the stock does not make it to $800? As far as I understand, this is easily achievable as it's so far out of the money. Am I missing something? So basically, with options like that, if GME is below $800, the investor keeps all of the money they shorted it with. So for example, let's say GME's the strike price they shorted is $800 and GME is at $220. The investor will make the entire amount they put into the 800 strike calls as long as GME is below $800. But let's say that GME somehow explodes to $1,000 or $1,200, they will lose a tremendous amount of money. So basically, when you're shorting super far out of the money options, you have a very high chance of winning. But if you lose, the losses can just be absolutely horrible. So overall, I hope that kind of helped with the explanation of shorting options. Sometimes it could get a little bit complicated. So overall, great question, Vicky.
Yeah, and I actually went into the option here, and you can see that on my chart here, I went to the options actual chart, and you can see the option that they did actually fell 58% today. So they would have profited pretty good today alone from it. And you can see how much volume came in around 1 p.m. So they might have taken profits on some of that.
Oh, for sure, So, yeah, I mean, they could also like close the options early to lock in some profits, like Tom said. There's a lot of different things that could happen when dealing with unusual options activity, but overall, good stuff. With the next question, we have L talking about ZOM, Tom. So it looks like this stock has been very hot lately, going from around 6 cents all the way up to $2.91. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it looks like very hot. I mean, it's going up a lot as of late. Man, I would think it's going to continue up. It looks like a nice staircasing setup. I like it off of the 245 support. If it can hold that, I think that we're going to be good. But just keep in mind, it is kind of a lower price stock. And sometimes, like if the overall market pops, these lower price stocks start to go down. So just keep that in mind. And it looks like it's almost like a GME or an AMC type of play.
Sounds good. Well, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty important right now with the FOMC meeting coming up this week, guys. The VXX is getting pretty low here at $13.11, the lowest it's been over the past few years. So, guys, this is at lows. So just keep in mind that this could start to pop back up or something if inflation starts to happen, or it could just keep heading lower and then possibly even like reverse split like it has in the past a few years ago. So just watch out for VXX. There's a lot of things that could happen this week with the FOMC meeting. If there's some weird inflation numbers and inflation's on the rise, then VXX might start to pop, and then the SPY and the overall market might start to go down.
Sounds good. Well, guys, if you want to trade with Tom and I every single day, don't forget to click the first link in the description down below. We are having a $40 off sale right now. Like I said, daily day trades and swing trades and access to the bots. We've been pretty hot lately. We actually had a pretty solid play that we actually talked about earlier with UAL. Went from about $2.47 all the way up to $4.80. So it was a pretty solid trade overall. See first link in the description down below. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.